Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of the new book, Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love, available now in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. Now I have a deal for you guys to get a free Audible copy of Twin Flame Romance if you purchase Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with mindfulness, yoga, and Ayurveda on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, or Audible, and leave a review on Amazon for Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy. This poor little book only has 7 reviews on Amazon, so I'm really trying to boost its reviews because Amazon has a weird algorithm that really works with reviews to show this book to anybody. If you buy this book, read it, and leave a review in any format, as long as you purchase it on Amazon, I will gift you, once that review is up, I will gift you the Audible copy of Twin Flame Romance for the months of January and February of 2020. If you're new to my channel, welcome! Happy New Year! Please subscribe below, hit the bell for notifications, and please give the video a thumbs up. Welcome to the weekly tarot reading for Twin Flames. Today is Sunday and it is January 12th already. It seemed like we celebrated the new year just yesterday, but it's been 12 days. I can't even believe it. If you're new to my readings, what I do is I take 2 cards for the Divine Feminine, 2 cards for the Divine Masculine, 2 cards for the couple, and a romance card. Now, if more cards tend to pop out, they just pop out, and we take them. Because I always ask my angels and guides. Now, I use the Angel Tarot deck, which I really love, and if you viewed past readings, or if you viewed my New Year's predictions, my New Year's readings for your astrological sign, if you haven't yet, go ahead and check it out for you and for your twin flame. I'm also using this week the Fairy Tarot deck, which is so cute. And I use this in my New Year's readings too. And I am using the Romance deck. And I'm actually really looking to get a new Romance Oracle deck since this one is out of print and I just need something fresh to use as well. Now let me go over, as I usually do, the energy for this week. And we just had a really strong full moon on the 10th and a lunar eclipse. Crazy, so much energy. Now let me just tell you that for the past 2 weeks, I've actually been sick. And I really feel it's like all this movement, this planetary movement, all of this energy, and also what is happening in the Twin Flame Collective. Now, I generally don't get sick, but I've been really sick twice, like in the past 5 months. And yes, I channel energy for the Divine Feminine and for the Divine Masculine. I don't know if this has something to do with that. But like I said, generally speaking, I stay pretty healthy. I have a really healthy regime. Not sure why. I've been I've been hit hard. So I believe I had the flu, and a lot of you perhaps around the time of the full moon had some heaviness, had a lot of things going on. I know for the Divine Feminine, what I have been feeling is this last bit of karmic clearing of past events. A lot of this has to do with your childhood. A lot of this has to do with childhood wounds. And it's interesting because I feel that even for those of you in this collectivity that have done the work, it's kind of like the bottom of the barrel childhood wound clearing. I really feel like if you're scraping the bottom of the peanut butter to try to make a sandwich, you know, the bottom of the jar, I really feel that's what's happening with Divine Feminines when it comes to that karmic clearing or that childhood wound clearing. And the way I like to explain it, and the way I explain it to my clients when you book a reading with me, when you do some coaching and reading sessions with me, which You can email me at michellefondinauthor@gmail.com if you want to book a reading. You can also go to my website, fondinwellness.com. What I like to explain is that healing often happens in stages. So even if you have done a lot of healing and clearing from your childhood and past relationships, and you think, oh, I've done this, it's complete, it's completely done. It's not always completely done. And I really believe it's because God gives you what you can handle at the time that you're doing your healing and in general. And if you really can't handle the depths of the healing, then you take off a couple of levels, let's say the surface level and maybe the secondary level of the trauma that you've experienced during those periods in childhood or in past relationships. And then the bottom layers are saved for when you have had a certain amount of growth, maturity, spiritual growth, awakening. And then guess what? Your angels and guides tend to take you on a journey back down into the depths of those childhood wounds to finish the healing. And this is what has happened to me this past week. And I know it has happened to several others as well, since I do these coaching sessions with a lot of the divine feminines, especially. I don't think I've coached many divine masculines. It's about 99% divine feminines. I've noticed that the angels are going to show you the aspects of your past that you need to heal. And that's really kind of what's going on. I know it's not pretty, but that seems to be what's happening. Now, you and your divine masculine, if you resonate with this reading, and if you've resonated with the past few readings that I've done for my weekly readings, the divine masculine's doing a lot of the same. You guys are mirroring each other now in that final stage of the karmic clearing, in the final stage of just purging out these childhood wounds and getting to the bottom of it. Like really getting to what I say, the bottom of the barrel. You're really scraping out the bottom of the barrel in so far as what have these wounds done to you? What kind of trauma is creeping up on you? Now, the problem with this is that when you reignite old trauma, a lot of things can happen. Physical symptoms can happen, hence me being sick. I started, after I was triggered to heal some core wounds that were kind of like had been treated before but not fully, I started getting this weird, not so much a rash, but kind of like this itchiness all around. And I thought it was a byproduct of the flu, but I really, upon digging deeper, I felt that it was more reigniting the trauma, because your body reacts physically to trauma. And so that's kind of twin flames. I know it's not rosy this week, but I really feel that that's kind of what in effect is happening. Now you can do one of two things with this. You can turn your back on it and decide not to look at it, or you can plow through and use this as an opportunity to really take a closer look at those childhood wounds. So let's go ahead and say a blessing over this reading. We can ask Archangel Michael to stand guard, casting away any lower energies with his sword of light. Dear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, archangels, angels of God, twin flame angels, romance angels, please help us to understand for divine feminines what divine feminines need to learn this week, starting on January 12th, 2020, for this twin flame collective. If it resonates with you, fantastic. This is your journey. And if it doesn't resonate with you, you know what? Take what does, let go of the rest. You just might be at a different phase in your development when it comes to your twin flame journey. Some of you, and I've been talking to you, so I know this, some of you just met your twin flames a couple of months ago, or a month ago, or 3 months ago. So this journey for you is super recent. Therefore, you're not going to be in the same place on the journey as those of us who have been on the journey for a year or two. It's just going to vary. So this may resonate with you. It may not. Whatever happens, happens. Let's look at the divine masculine. So angels and guides, twin flame angels, romance angels, help us to understand what divine masculine needs to learn to grow, what the divine feminines can learn about what's happening with the divine masculines. And we're gonna pick one from the fairy deck here. Angels and guides help us to understand what is happening with divine masculines this week, what they need to learn to grow. Okay. And then for the twin flame couple, so we're going to look at what the twin flame couple is feeling energetically, what they're going through energetically. We're talking about the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. We're talking about the dynamic of the couple now, the twin flame couple. What is that energetic match looking like right now? Fairy angels, help us to understand what's happening with the twin flame collective that I read for here. Okay, so we've got that. Pretty straightforward this week, you guys, pretty straightforward. I really feel that the angels and guides this week, they're not overwhelming us with too much information because of the heaviness of having to purge the last bit of, it's those childhood core wounds. That's all I can say. I think this has to do with past relationships as well, but what I'm seeing is that even if it's part of past relationships, it's linked to what happened in childhood. It's linked to those parental relationships. It's linked maybe to mom and dad's marital relationship. So for the twin flame couple, romance angels help us to understand what the couple needs to know energetically for this week. Okay, so let's look first at the divine feminine. Beautiful. This honestly, if you divine feminines work through this healing this week, if you dive deeply into your emotions and really get to the bottom of the barrel, as I was mentioning, the bottom, and scrape out the residue, the debris that's really at the bottom when it comes to your core childhood wounds, there are great rewards in store for you. And I look at this. It's an emotional week, but it's not all bad. Because when you take care of what's happening in your emotional well-being, the rewards are great. So we have the Ace of Water, which is about psychic insights, intuition, but it's also a falling in love card. And then you have the King of Water, which again, this can represent a father figure. This can represent an emotional figure. This could represent your twin flame who might be a Pisces. This can represent just a great love that is opening up to development on a deep, deep emotional level. It's pretty amazing. I feel that through the healing that is taking place in you, divine feminines, through letting go of those final bits of debris that have stayed with you, you're opening yourself up to new emotional experiences, and you're opening yourself up to a new, a new outlook on how relationships work on an emotional level. That up until now, you've had a different emotional experience when it comes to relationships. Maybe a lot of you were in codependency. Maybe many of you divine feminines chose partners that were not healthy for you, were not emotionally healthy. And you were at a place that wasn't emotionally healthy. And so therefore you sought out partners that were also not emotionally healthy, but that has changed. That really has changed now that you've gone through your healing. You're moving into a more profound emotional experience, and you're moving into a more loving experience, and with deep love, the depths of this love that have to do with the twin flame soul connection. It's so incredibly beautiful. But also because you have agreed to clear out the residue that's remaining, you're left with these intuitive experiences that are opening you up to have greater faculties in order to experience love on a deeper level. Because before, there were blockages there that prevented you from experiencing love at such a deep level. And it's because the wounds were there. The wounds were there blocking the way to feel that completely. And that's why. This is crazy. This is nuts. For the divine masculines, we got two of the exact same card. We've got the 9 of Spring and the 9 of Fire. That is insanity. This is nuts, divine masculines. It's the same card, two different decks. In essence, it's the 9 of Wands. It's a very fiery energy. It's also a beautiful energy for the divine masculines to behold, because it's about protecting what you have created. It's about protecting this divine connection. Wow, the divine masculines finally getting to a place where not only are they awakened to the connection, but they're starting to defend the connection. Now, I don't know if that means defending the connection to family members, friends, colleagues, themselves even. The 9 of Fire is like knowing that there are bumps in the road and knowing that there are obstacles in the way and there are challenges to overcome. But nonetheless, you're going to defend what you've created. You're going to defend, in this case, the twin flame relationship with their divine feminine, the divine masculines. Wow, they're really at that place where they're just like, they know what this is. They know that you're someone special. They know that this is a sacred connection, and it's a sacred journey, and it needs protecting. They know that there are challenges ahead. They understand that this is not an easy journey. Now, we've got number 9 twice for divine masculine. The number 9, if you're looking at numerology, life numbers, angel numbers, number 9 indicates life path with a humanitarian purpose. It has to do more with a life of service. The number 7, or when you see a series of 7s, it indicates on the right life path. Or in an adverse card, it means you're not on the right life path. Get back to the right 7s, meaning get on your path. When we see something like this where there are 2 9s, it's saying that the divine masculine understands that this twin flame connection is not only part of his right life path, but it's also serving humanity. And that is something that is extra, extra, extra special. It's pretty darn amazing. Oh, it'll be interesting to see how the divine masculines open up to this verbally, how they begin to stand in their power to actually defend the connection. That will be really interesting to see. It's that courage, the strength, the nobility. It's really that courage of the lion to stand up for what they believe in the connection with their divine feminines. It's super duper interesting. For the couple, this is crazy. It's crazy what came up, you guys. Now, grant you, I picked 2 tarot decks, and I shuffled both of the decks, and they've been shuffled many times over anyway. I've been doing readings for most of the week, so they've been shuffled, 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 shuffled. This is crazy, you guys. For the couple, you guys are exactly where you need to be for reunion. Now, I'm not saying it's happening this week. I'm saying you both are getting to the point at which you are both ready for reunion. So remember how I said you're mirroring each other when it comes to healing the rest of your core childhood wounds? You guys are both working on that right now, and you're working kind of on the bottom of the barrel of that. It seems that you guys are evolving now simultaneously. There's this sense of simultaneity when it comes to the evolution of each other and the evolution of the connection together. It's really insane. So what we got for the couple, we got the Knight of Water along with the Empress card. Now the Knight of Water is the lovey-dovey knight, kind of like the prince, but the lovey-dovey knight who asks for his girl's hand in marriage. It's the love letters, it's the wedding proposals. Now, if he's by himself, I'm a little bit worried, because the Knight of Water tends to jump from one thing to another thing, or one romantic experience to another. But being that he's coupled here with the Empress card, and the Empress is very advanced as far as the evolutionary process of being human, she's an Empress, that queen energy. She is regal, very divine feminine. I mean, you can't get a more divine feminine card than the Empress card. Frankly, that's it. Bottom line, that's it. What I love is that you have your masculine energy, your feminine energy together and creating something really beautiful. And this is the romantic gesture, creativity, openness, abundance. It's a really super duper 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 positive energy. For this week, it's amazing. We've got this And the romance card, New Love, comes up, and that's this card. In a romance reading for something very particular, I look at this as a renewed romance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It is a renewal of that love. So just think of a couple that renews their vows, for example, a married couple who renews their vows. I feel that upcoming very soon for some of you is a renewal of this love. It's like it's brand spanking new and it's shiny. And as I have mentioned in so many readings before, is that the renewal of the love in the 3D, because we're talking about the 3D, the 5D, the love's always there, right? Always there. But the renewal of the love relationship in the 3D is going to look very differently than how it looked prior. It's just going to be different. You guys are very different people now that you've gone through this evolution. Divine Feminines, you have more self-respect, more self-confidence. You have a greater understanding of what relationships are truly about. You have more self-love. Divine Masculines, you have more confidence. You're more courageous. You have more self-worth, and this sense of self-worth. You feel more like the masculine that you truly are, that you've walked into your masculinity at a greater level. So with these new traits that you have adopted on an enormous level, not to say you didn't have those traits before, but what I'm saying is the expansiveness of those traits that have happened during your individual phases of growing and learning, they've just exploded now. And therefore, when the renewed love comes in, you're coming together and it's just looking different. It has to look different. It's not as childish and codependent as your previous relationships, or maybe even that the twin flame relationship looked like. It's just this greater sense of maturity, this greater sense of wisdom, and this greater sense of true connection without the jealousy, without the arguments, without the he said, she said. It's just this really mature agape sort of love. Now, if you're unfamiliar with agape love, go back to Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy. I do an entire chapter on the different forms of love when it comes to the heart chakra, and I really explain it in great detail. But it's that agape type of love, and it's so beautiful, and it's just this renewed sense of, wow, this is what romantic relationships are supposed to look like. Whew, I wish I knew this before. So that's really what it's all about, Twin Flames. And I'm really happy with this reading. It's so funny because the messages that I got for what you guys are actually going through and the energy shift coming into this full week, they're different, but I feel that they're more the rewards for having done the rest of the work. These are the rewards for having done the rest of the work. Now, that's not to say that things are going to be easy peasy, because we saw that the divine masculine now, who is very astute, very psychic, they can see into the future. They know that there are bumps in the road. They really know this, but they're ready to defend you, divine feminines. They're ready to defend the connection, and they're prepared now to do that. They weren't prepared before, but they are prepared to do it now. I think it's a gorgeous reading. Thank you so much for joining me, Twin Flames. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Please hit that bell, and you've got to scroll up to all now. Go figure. Scroll up to all. Make sure you click on that all for notifications of all my upcoming videos. And thank you for sharing this video with other Twin Flames in the collectivity. And if you would like to support my YouTube channel, I really need new camera equipment, lighting, all that jazz. I really need a new laptop this year. I am producing crazy amounts of videos, and your support is really appreciated. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can also pledge your support on Patreon and join our private party podcast, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin, and I will see you in the next video.